Hi, welcome to today's lesson. It's our last lesson of the year. Oh, I know you're sad, but try not to be. Let's have a good time and learn how to multiply decimals. Our learning target today is I can multiply decimal numbers by whole numbers. We'll follow 3 steps to the way we're going to learn how to do this today. So, how to multiply decimal numbers by whole numbers. Step 1, make a ballpark estimate of the product. Will the product be in the ones, the tens, hundreds, or thousands place? Step 2, multiply as if the numbers are whole numbers. Step 3, put the decimal back in so that the product's place value matches the ballpark estimate. Let's see what we're talking about. Here we have 6 4/10 times 3. So step 1 says make a ballpark estimate of the product. Well, that means let's just get a rough estimate of the product. So if we round 6 4/10 to 6 and multiply that by 3, we get 18. So our ballpark estimate tells us that when we're done multiplying, our answer should be around 18 somewhere. Step 2 says multiply as if the decimals are not there. In other words, as if these are whole numbers. So we're going to ignore this decimal. This problem is now in our mind 64 times 3. So let's do that. If you recall, the way we multiply is to start with the bottom digit, the bottom number, in this case it's 3, and multiply it by both of the top numbers, starting here on the right and moving our way left. So here we have 3 times 4, that's 12. We'll carry the 1. And then 3 times 6, that's 18, plus 1 that we carried, that's 19. So it looks like our answer is 192. But let's not forget about step 3. Step 3, put the decimal back into the product so that the place value matches the ballpark estimate. Well, where can we put a decimal in this set of 3 digits, 1, 9, and 2, so that it's around the number 18? It's about the same as the number 18, which was our ballpark estimate. And the answer, of course, is right here between the 9 and the 2, because 19 and 2/10 is about 18. And that's how we know we're correct. So 6 4/10 times 3 is 19 and 2/10. Let's try another one. Here we have 94 3/10 times 8. So step 1, let's make our ballpark estimate. 94 3/10 rounds to, I don't know, 100. And 8, we'll keep 8. 100 times 8 is 800. So when we're done multiplying and inserting the decimal into our product, we should have an answer, a product that's around 800. Let's go ahead and now multiply as if these are whole numbers. 8 times 3 is 24. Let's write down the 4 and carry the 2. 8 times 4 is 32. 32 plus 2 is 36. So we'll write the 6 and carry the 3. 8 times 9 is 72, plus the 3 that we carried is 75. So it looks like we have 7,564, but we don't, do we? Remember, our answer, our product, should be around 800. And where can we put a decimal in this series of digits so that the number reads to be about 800? That's right here between the 6 and the 4. And now our answer reads 756 4/10. And 756 4/10 is about 800. Pretty close. All right, let's try another one. Here we have 2 59/100 times 2. Step 1 says make a ballpark estimate of the product. So we're going to round 2 59/100 to about, say, 2? And we'll keep 2 as 2. And 2 times 2 is 4. When we're done multiplying and getting our correct product, our answer should be around 4. Okay, now let's go ahead and multiply as if the decimal is not there. 2 times 9 is 18. Write the 8, carry the 1. 2 times 5 is 10. plus 1 is 11. Write the 1, carry the 1. And 2 times 2 is 4, plus 1 is 5. It looks like we have 518 as a product, doesn't it? But we don't. Where would the decimal go in the series of digits, 518, so that our final product is actually somewhere around 4? That's right. Right here between the 5 and the 1. Because 5 and 1800ths is about 4. Remember, ballpark estimates are rough estimates. You don't have to be super close, just close enough to know you're correct. All right, let's try this one. Ooh, a 2-digit number by 2-digit number. Okay, here we go. So now we have 5 and 1/10 times 78. So this is a good review of how we multiply 2-digit numbers together. All right, so step 1 though. First, let's make our ballpark estimate. Here, we're going to round 5 and 1/10 to 5 and 78 to 80. And if we can't do 80 times 5 in our heads, this is an extended math fact, right? We'll get 400, right? 5 times 8 is 40, plus the 1 0 is 400. So when we're done, our ballpark estimate says our product should be around 400-ish. All right, let's get rid of the work, only because it kind of makes things confusing to see. And now let's go ahead and multiply as if the decimal's not there. We have 8 times 1, that's 8. And 8 times 5 is 40. Now, here's something. We go on to step 2. We move over to the 7 and we multiply it by both of the top numbers. But first, do you remember we have to hold the ones place in the second answer line with a 0 because that 7's in the 10 place and everything in the second answer line is actually 10 times bigger? Okay, so 7 times 1, that's 7. And 7 times 5, that's 35. And now, this final step here, we have to add both answer lines. So let's go ahead and do that. 408 plus 3,570, or at least that's what it looks like. We have 8 plus 0 is 8. 0 plus 7 is 7. 4 plus 5 is 9. And 3 plus nothing is 3. Giving us what looks to be 3,978. That can't be. Remember, our ballpark estimate says our answer should be around 400. Where can we put the digit here in this series of the decimal? Where can we put the decimal in this series of 4 digits so that the answer is around 400? That's right. We're going to put it right between the 7 and the 8 because now we have 397 and 8/10. And 397 and 8/10 is really close to 400. All right. Oh, here we go. 3-digit number by 2-digit number. No, step 1, ballpark estimate. Well, 30 and 9/10 becomes 30. And let's see, 99 will round to 100. And 100 times 30, well, that's 3 times 1 is 3, plus 1, 2, 3 zeros. That's 3,000. So when we're done, our answer our product should be somewhere around 3,000. That's our ballpark estimate. Now let's multiply as if the digits are whole numbers. All right, here we go. So we have 9 times 9 is 81. So we'll write the 1 and carry the 8. 9 times 0 is 0, plus the 8 is 8. And 9 times 3 is 27. Now in our second answer line, we'll start by holding the ones place with a 0. And we'll do 9 times 9 is 81. Oh, I'm going to cross out what we carried. 9 times 9 is 81. Write the 1, carry the 8. 9 times 0 is 9. I'm sorry, 9 times 0 is 0, plus the 8 is 8. And then 9 times 3 is 27. And now we add our answer lines together. 1 plus 0 is 1. 8 plus 1 is 9. 7 plus 8 is 15. Carry the 1. 1 plus 2 plus 7 is 10. Carry the 1. And 1 plus 2 is 3. Here we have, looks like 30,591. But it can't be because our answer has to be around 3,000. And so the decimal then goes right here between the 9 and the 1 because 3,059 and 1/10 is about 3,000. All right. Now, you try. I just made myself go away, but I'm going to keep going here. Go ahead and try multiplying this decimal number, 6 and 1/10 by 5. And follow these 3 steps And we'll talk about your answer on the other side. Go ahead. All right. Did you round 6 1/10 to 6 and 5 you kept as 5? So your ballpark estimate was 30. And then did you multiply 5 times 1 and get 5? And 5 times 6 and get 30? And then insert the decimal right here between the 0 and 5 because 30 and 5/10 is really close to 30. All right, good job. Let's try one more. Go ahead and multiply 1 4/10 times 31. Let's see how you do on the other side. Okay. Did you round 1 4/10 to 1 and 31 to 30 and get 1 times 30 is 30? So a ballpark estimate will be about 30. Okay. Now let's multiply as if they're whole numbers. Here we go. 1 times 4 is 4. 1 times 1 is 1. Let's hold the 1's place with a 0 and multiply 3 times 4 and get 12. Carry the 1. And 1 times 3 is 3 plus 1 is 4. And then we'll add our two answer lines together and get 4 and a 3 and a 4. And then we have to put our decimal somewhere so that the answer is about 30. And that means the decimal can only belong right between the 3 and the 4 because 43 and 4/10 is as close as we're going to get to 30 with those digits. All right. Our learning target today is I can multiply decimal numbers by whole numbers. We're going to practice this independently or together with me. Let's get started.